guys, today we're going to be giving you the top 10 loadouts you can be running right now in Warzone 2. These top 10 loadouts are going to be based strictly on statistics from truegamedata.com. We'll give you guys the loadouts to screenshot with all the statistics on them and everything like that, so you guys will have all the information right at your fingertips. And if you don't know, World Series of Warzone started this weekend, and if you need these loadouts maybe to go and try to compete in that, these will work for that very, very well. I know me and my squad will be competing, so we'll be live over on Kick and on Facebook, so you guys are welcome to come watch.
Yeah, but I can't kill him.
Also, these are going to be in no particular order. I'm not going to set these in like certain loadouts. These are all interchangeable. You can run these with whichever top 10 of these weapons you want to run them with. So I would pair AR with SMG, of course, but definitely swap them out, see what feels good to you. I'm a personal fan of the Vaznev and the MP7 right now for the SMGs with the ISO Hemlock. That's just my opinion, but we'll give you all these loadouts right now. First, you want to go with the STB. This is based on statistics. This is a very viable, very meta weapon right now. You want to go with the Eclipse 80 muzzle. We're going to tune that for 95 and 55 bullet velocity, and then the Bruin S20 S620 barrel, tuned for recoil steadiness and damage range. And then you want to go with the high velocity ammo here, tuned for bullet velocity and recoil smoothness. And then we got I like the AIM OPV4 optic, whatever optic you want to run here. I tuned it for negative 165 FAR and negative 0.68 on ADS. And then of course the 42 round mag. And we'll showcase this weapon right here while giving you guys the loadout here on the right. But yeah, this thing is very, very good. Recoil is pretty manageable. Not the best recoil in my opinion. That's still the ISO. And with that AUG, we'll give you another AUG, and we're gonna go with the MX9 here. It's probably, honestly, it's number 5. We're gonna go with the 508 millimeter rear guard barrel, the quick fire laser tuned for sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. We did not tune the barrel either. That's up to you, I guess, but it doesn't really make a difference in the chart. And then we'll go with 32 round mag. And then the Bruin Q900 grip here, tuned for negative 39 aim down sight speed and negative 25 sprint to fire. And then we like the F-Tac C11 riser here, tuned for aim walking speed and aim down sight speed. And this one's really easy to control as well. The iron sights are tough for this one. So if you don't like the iron sights, maybe switch out the riser or the comb. Yeah, the riser for the optic or something like that, for a Chrono Mini Pro optic or something like that. Completely up to you there, but that's my suggestion. But next is kind of a surprising one, but statistically the RPK is back. I think everything got nerfed around it, and so it just kind of kept going back up since it got, you know, nerfed to the ground the last time, and everything's been getting nerfed around it, so it's kind of continued to rise. And honestly, it's really, really good, especially if you're running big map. It comes with 75 rounds, so I highly recommend it. We're gonna go with the Polar S muzzle here. We're gonna leave the tuning alone again, and then the F-Tac Ripper 56 underbarrel here, tuned for recoil stabilization and aiming idle stability. Then the so for that RVK, we're gonna go with the Polar S muzzle here, tuned for recoil smoothness and bullet velocity. And then we like the F-Tac Ripper 56, tuned for recoil stabilization and aiming idle stability, along with the high velocity ammo here, tuned for 41 damage range and a 290 bullet velocity here. And then the FSS OLV laser for that ADS speed, aiming stability and sprint to fire speed. We're going to tune that for aim walking steadiness and aiming idle stability. And then again, I like the AIM OPV4 optic here. We can tune that for right there, about 126 aim down sight speed, and you can put it on far for a little less visual recoil. But I wouldn't go as far to say as like the RPK is the #1 weapon again, but recoil is very manageable. You get 75 rounds. Very good for Al Mazrah, the big map and things like that. So if you're running Al Mazrah Resurgence, you know, and with this I have the PDSW SMG. This is going to be your fastest movement SMG in the game. You're just scooting when you're using this. You're going to go with the quick fire laser here and tune that for negative 24 sprint to fire and a negative 13 ADS. And then got the hollow extended stock here. We're going to tune that for aim down sight speed, just max that out. And then aim walking speed is going to be a negative 39. And then the TV Tac comb, we're going to tune that for aim walking speed and aim down sight speed. And then the Bruin Q900 grip, we're going to tune that for aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed. And then we have the light rail here. We're going to tune this for sprint speed. Like I said, you're just going to be scooting right now. and sprint to fire speed here too until that drops right there, -18, and it's absolutely perfect. Yeah, man, the PDSW is just very easy to control, kills really fast fire rate, and like I said, you're running insanely fast. Next was the shocking one that I learned about, which is the HCR. I had talked about this, and this was in my top 10 2 weeks ago, I think. But the HCR I've always liked. It really feels like an AR more so than it does an LMG. Again, it's another AUG variant. It's the LMG AUG variant, but the HCR feels really, really good. It's very accurate, and it hits like an LMG, but feels like an AR in my opinion. So you want to go with the X10 ported 920 muzzle here, tuned for recoil stabilization and aiming idle stability. And then the F-Tac Ripper 56 underbarrel, tuned for recoil stabilization and aiming idle stability as well. And then the high velocity ammo, tuned for damage range and bullet velocity. Again, I've got the STIP 40 grip here, tuned for about a 65 recoil steadiness and a 25 aiming idle stability. And then I like the AIM OPV4 optic, tuned for ADS, and I tuned this one for close a little bit, just to kind of see a little farther for big map and Ashika. But yeah, the HCR, man, it feels real good. It's very little recoil, hits really, really nice, man. Just hits really nice, and comes with 60 rounds too, so you don't even have to add a mag. Paired with this, I've got the Vaznev. I'm actually either running the Vaznev or the MP7 for World Series of Warzone with the squad. Vaznev has felt really good to me, real good using it. And so right here, you're going to go with the Cast 1 381 millimeter barrel, tuned for aim walking speed and aim down sight speed. And then you would go with a 45 round mag and the True Tac grip here, tuned for ADS and sprint to fire, again about a -16 for that sprint to fire. And the Atrazat stock, tuned for ADS and aim walking speed. And the Schlager Peck Box 4, going to tune this for sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. Basically, why you're using this specific laser is you get all the ADS and none of the cons, so I highly recommend it. Next, we're going to give you the ISO Hemlock in the MP7 or the Bell 46. The ISO Hemlock is just, honestly, it's got the least amount of recoil. I think for me it's number one in my opinion, but again, as far as statistics are concerned, the Cronin Squall is the number one, so we'll get to that here in just a few moments. But for this ISO Hemlock, we're going to run the Eclipse 80 muzzle, tuned for recoil smoothness and bullet velocity. And then we're going to go with the Fielder T50 barrel, tuned for recoil steadiness and a +15 on damage range. And then we're not going to go with an underbarrel here. You don't need it. The recoil is so easy to control as it is. So we're going to go with the high velocity ammo, tuned for 29 damage range and a 4.35 on bullet velocity. Then the 45 round mag here. And then I have the AIM OPV4 optic, another optic that I highly recommend and I've been loving recently is the SD Recharge DX optic. But again, tune that for far and aim down sight speed and you'll be good to go. And we'll show you guys how this thing operates. Again, there's just no recoil on it, man. Yeah, it's really easy to control. Next is the MP7. The MP7, the best statistical loadout for this is the Schlager L203 barrel. For aim walking speed, and you're going to tune this for ADS as well. And then the quick fire laser, again, you get the ADS with no penalties, and you're going to tune this for sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. Add the 60 or the 50 round mag, completely up to you, but I like the 60 round here. And the Schlager Soldier grip, tuned for ADS and sprint to fire speed, along with the demo RXT stock here, tuned for ADS and aim walking speed. We'll show you guys how this thing looks. Again, this is for mid range, not a lot of recoil. I'm not sure you can hit super far down range. Yeah, wouldn't use it that far, obviously. That's what the ISO Hemlock is for. But as far as mid to close range, it's really, really nice. And for our last one here, the Cronin Squall is the number one long range meta right now. I think everybody really knows that. And then of course, I paired it with the MP5. I know a lot of people are fans of the MP5 or the Lockman sub, however you like to say it. But the Cronin Squall and the MP5 are really good together. If you want to switch out, any of these SMGs with the Cronin Squall is going to be just fine. But for that Cronin Squall, we got the Tempest GH50 muzzle. We're going to tune that for recoil stabilization and gun kick control. And then the F-Tac Ripper 56, tuned for recoil stabilization and aiming idle stability. High velocity ammo, tuned for recoil smoothness and bullet velocity. We added the 50 round drum here, and then you can tune this for ADS if you want. I got the AIM OPV4 optic, completely up to you. You're probably going to want to go max out it on far here, just strictly for the visual recoil. But yeah, it It absolutely hits. It's got a up into the left recoil pattern, which is crazy, but yeah, it definitely feels really good, especially mid to close, and then it's gonna destroy long range as well. And then for that MP5, the MP5 is really interesting right now. I've got a hipfire MP5 that I really enjoy. You guys may have seen me do videos on it, but I really love it. Honestly, I love it. I love the hipfire aspect of things, but this one is just a straight up better build. We're gonna go with the X10 RR40 muzzle tuned for aim down sight speed and bullet velocity here. Then the Falcon barrel tuned for recoil steadiness and aim down sight speed. And then with the 50 round drum, and then the VLK 7mm laser here tuned for sprint to fire speed and aim down sight speed. And then Lockman TZG rear grip here tuned for ADS and sprint to fire. Again, this MP5 is very little recoil and hits like a Mack truck, man. It just kills enemies so quick. Thank you guys again for watching, man. If you're screenshotting these loadouts, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that noty bell so you don't miss another video. We've got tons of these videos. Check out my other videos right here. We love you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.